Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Doing good.
So today we are talking about the Mombacho 10th Anniversary Magnifico. The cigar is a Toro in size, 6¼ inch by 52 ring gauge. Comes out of the Casa Favelli factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Nicaraguan Habano Viso. Binder is Nicaraguan Habano Criollo. And the filler is Nicaraguan Habano Criollo Seco. The Habano Criollo Viso Mediano, Habano Viso Grande, Criollo Ligero Mediano Habano, and Habano Ligero Grande. So a lot of different stuff in the filler. Blended by Claudio Segroy. Price point is $19.95, and the cigar was released in July of 2016. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your pre-light experience like?
Pre-light was really good. First, you got to give it up to the props for that wrapper. That wrapper was pristine, really slick, silky kind of a feel to it. Press seems really tight. Good. I didn't feel any soft spots or hard spots. And I had like a pretty firm but uniform give throughout the whole cigar. The pigtail cap, which is always attractive. Double cap. In terms of the pre-light, when I smell the wrapper, cedar, white pepper, nuts. When I smell the foot, pretty much the same thing, but I just got more deeper notes of the same. Cold draw, cedar, and a little bit of like a lip tingling white pepper going on. So really good pre-light.
Yeah, wrapper was medium brown with a little bit of a red hue to it. A couple of medium-sized veins that ran down a good length of the cigar. Seams were smooth and fairly well hidden. Appears to be two well-applied caps. Top cap being finished off with a tightly wrapped pigtail. Two bands, both carrying the same brown and gold color scheme. Primary band is a standard Mombacho band, while the foot band identifies the cigar as the Anniversario offering. Wrapper aroma was primarily leather with some barnyard mixed in, and the foot was a very full cedar. Cold draw was primarily cedar, but had a slight cherry sweetness to it and kind of a delayed spicy tingle that I was getting on my lips. So getting into the flavor profile, June, what was your experience like?
First third, I thought that the cigar was showed a lot of full, balanced flavors of cedar, a lot of cream nuttiness, nougat nuttiness, and just like a really nice sweetness that comes through. Retrohaling, deeper notes of like just saying cedar, spice kind of coming through with black pepper coming in and mixed nuts. Finish lengthy, lingering notes of mineral, cedar, mixed nuts. Strength kind of crept to a medium full, just like an inch into the cigar, which was a bit surprising. And the body stayed at consistent medium. Moving on to the second third, I thought it still kind of had the same flavors as the first third, but the cigar for me had more of a mineral forward thing going on, but it still had that same like cedar, cream sweetness, that nougat nuttiness. Retro's the same, still delicious with deeper notes of cedar, black pepper, mixed nuts. Finish still long lingering with the sharper cedar, minerals, and mixed nuts. Strength still pushing to that medium full, while body still stayed at the medium mark. Moving on to last third. Again, another transition that happened within the like a wood delivery note with the cedar. It was more like a sharp cedar or sharper cedar, and also halfway through that second of the last third, the strength finally kicked into like a consistent medium full. So it was almost like, all right, when is this going to get to that spot for me?
Right.
But still, it's very mineral centric, cream sweetness, nougat nuttiness. Retro still that center around that black pepper mixed nut cedar. Within the finish, it's still lengthy, but that's also when the cedar started getting sharper as well. In addition to the mixed nuts and minerals, body still at the consistent medium. So, all in all, for such a big cigar, pretty good like build ups and like transitions for me.
Yeah, initial drops for me brought aged cedar and cream. Retrohale added a slight black pepper component. At a 1/4 inch in, the aged cedar, cream, and black pepper were all creating a really nice mix. Half an inch in, some nuttiness joined in with the cedar, the cream and the pepper combination. And then at an inch in, the cedar kind of loses that aged note, and the nuttiness had left the profile, but the cream and the mild black pepper were still remaining there. Retro was a very creamy cedar. And as the third came to a close, the cedar became bright and young with some cream and pepper were faint in the background, and strength was right around medium. Getting into the second third, cedar remains up front with a slight mustiness and bitterness kind of present in the background. Half an inch in, cedar gains a bit of spice while the mustiness and the bitterness went away. At an inch in, some cream came back to the profile and lessened the spice in the cedar a little bit. Retrohale was a smooth and creamy general wood note. And as the cigar, second third came to a close, the cedar and the cream really paired up for a nice finish. And the strength was just slightly above medium there. Getting in the final third, a little bit of mustiness came in to mix with the cedar and the cream again. At a half inch in, that cream really increased while that cedar had morphed into a general wood note, and the mustiness remained. Inch in, a fair amount of bitterness joins in with a profile of wood, cream, and mustiness. And then at inch and a quarter, the cigar began to heat up, while the bitterness actually dropped some and the wood, cream, and the mustiness continued on. As the cigar came to a close, profile really smoothed out as the heat dissipated and the wood and the cream created a really nice mix. And the strength was finished out at slightly above the medium mark. So getting into performance for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
The burn was not as good as I thought it'd be. I smoked two of these guys within probably like a month or so difference apart. That there's especially within the first third, the burn was just really uneven, and I had to touch it up a couple of times. But past the first third, the burn corrected itself. Pretty minimal smoke production too on both samples, so it almost kind of felt like I had to keep on like keeping it burn,
Right.
But I just held on tight, 1.5 inch self tap increments. Cigar burned slow and cool the whole time, so nothing like sour bitterness or any of that bad stuff coming through. In terms of the draw, I rated it very good. It was on the tighter end of the spectrum for me, but at the end of the day, it wasn't like every draw that I took, I was thinking about, oh man, like this is a bad draw.
Right.
Yeah.
The burn was very straight through the first half of the cigar, and then the wrapper on one side kind of stopped burning. Required a large touch-up. After that, it was slightly wavy the rest of the way, and the ash held on in about 1 inch increments. In regards to the draw, it was just slightly tighter than I preferred, but I don't think it caused any issues with the smoking experience, so I rated it very good for that. So overall, what are your thoughts on the cigar?
I like the cigar. Every time a cigar, gets above that $15 price mark, and this one's like a tad, below $20. I expect a really good delivery, meaning great flavors, good, good construction. I thought it was balanced, complex, nuanced, and it had enough transitions within such a it's basically like a Toro-ish size, right? Or it is a Toro. So, to that extent, I thought that it was really good. I feel like the only downside of it is that burn line, and we live in a very cigar friendly environment. So it's not the weather or any of that kind of stuff, but spending $20, having burn issues, not the most ideal, but it didn't take away from the flavor experience. And that's what I value the most out of like a couple of touch-ups that I had to do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the cigar started out with a great profile and had some nice transition. Things kind of dropped off a bit as each third progressed. Performance was really good throughout, so that's always a plus. Being an anniversary cigar, I feel it should be like a special cigar for the brand, and I think that this one meets that criteria. It's definitely another good cigar in the portfolio. I don't know that they're necessarily available now. I mean, you may be able to find some, still in some shops or on the secondary market, but from the factory, they were kind of a one and done type of thing. Even though the price doesn't factor into our score, it's worth noting, like you mentioned, Jiunn, that this carries a near $20 price tag on it. But I think the cigar does do a good job of earning the money that you spend towards it. So if you're a fan of Mombacho, this is a no-brainer pickup. If you haven't smoked anything from the brand, I think this would be a great introduction. It's got the if the flavor profile kind of fits your wheelhouse. So definitely something that I think is worth a try if you can come across them. So getting to the scoring, I gave it a 6.87. You gave it an 8.20. How do you think your score matches up with the experience?
It matches really well. I mean, I thought in terms of the first, second, last third, the flavor delivery was really good, and I rated it very good. So, it's a notch below our best score, which is our amazing score, right? And that compounded by good but not the best construction, I think so far within this year, anyways. And I know it's just got through IPCPR. We have a lot of new stuff to smoke. This is probably really up there, if not the highest score that I gave a cigar so far this year.
And this is actually the last year release, but
right.
from that we smoked
that
this
we
year.
smoked with it this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my score matches up. I thought the first third was the best third, and then it kind of just dropped a rating each third. Construction was pretty good, and overall thought the cigar was good. So definitely got a pretty good score for me. In regards to flavor, I kind of thought that this matched up with a Liga Maestro pretty well. Liga Maestro for me scored a little bit better just due to a little bit better construction. I think about slightly better burn. But otherwise, flavor-wise, I rated them the same. So, but the Liga Maestro does carry a cheaper price tag. So, if it was my choice, I'd probably go Liga Maestro over the 10th anniversary. And Liga Maestro is definitely more available than this cigar as well. So, just kind of something.
Yeah.
If someone's kind of weighing it in, I want to try the brand. I'm not sure which one I want to try first. That would be my recommendation. I mean, it kind of makes it easy for me if it's hard to get one of them. So, that shouldn't maybe help your decision process there. Any other thoughts from you?
Yeah, on that same note, specifically within the Liga Maestro, the Double Robusto that we reviewed, I mean, regular production, you can still get it. These guys, my understanding is, like you were saying, it's sold out. So if you could be lucky enough to find out a retailer that has some other shelves or secondary market, but I would definitely recommend the cheaper Double Robusto or the Liga Maestro over this one. I mean, don't get me wrong. This definitely warrants that special 10th anniversary mark that Mombacho gave it. But for the regular production, regular availability, it's just a really damn good cigar within the Double Robusto. If you're new into Mombacho, for sure check that one out.
Yep, exactly. Well, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. You can also catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.